Hello guys, it's the weekends and this is gonna be like a weird video, I guess. It's about my first hate comment, and I would like to explain how it affected me and what it was all about. So I'm like a very small YouTuber. I mean, maybe I can say like maybe a non-existent YouTuber, or I would be like a nano YouTuber. First, I'd like to explain what my purpose is, like why I'm here. So I wanted to help students enroll to university and encourage them to start learning new languages and not being afraid to speak. That's what I was trying to do. And there's this program called Türkiye Bursları where it gives students free accommodation, free plane tickets to Turkey and from Turkey, and food, breakfast and dinner is inside the accommodation. Plus it gives you pocket money to do whatever else you need to do in Turkey, and they give that for 4 years and they want nothing in return. So this is the program that I know that exists, and the thing is, not many people knew that this program existed. And I really know that enrolling to a university can be super stressful for some people and for some countries, because university entrance exams are very stupid in some countries, and if you don't get a good grade, you won't be enrolled to a university, or you'll have to apply to a private university, which can cost a lot, and students don't have that kind of money. So that's the main thing I found, and on that specific video I do explain that was my purpose. And I looked at some suicide rates, and there are the suicide rates are high for students, after that exam, after seeing their results or something. And I went through that, and I know that it was hard, so I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna make a video like this. I want to help students enroll to university, and I have done that. I have messages from students who actually enrolled to the university, because the thing is, no one believes that there is something free in this world, and there is. So it's kind of hard to believe if you say, oh, so you want to study in this university for free accommodation, free plane tickets, everything's going to be free, and they will give you pocket money. It's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, this program does exist. And the thing is, I did this video in Russian, and obviously I've never talked about this in a video, but I'm not sure if I would call myself a polyglot, but I'm kind of multilingual. So I grew up knowing Turkish, and at the age of 4 I moved to England, so that's where I learned English. And then I learned Russian, Kazakh, and at my year 10 GCSEs I started, learning Spanish. And I lived in France for a year for my exchange, and there I learned French. And right now I'm in Berlin, in Germany, learning German. I'm enrolled to German courses. So and next year I'll be learning another language. But the thing is, I never brag about this, and not many people actually know this, except for like my very close friends, because I don't go saying, hi, I speak this many languages and this is me. No, that doesn't work like that. And this is why I encourage people and say that learning a language isn't really hard. It's just you have to want to learn it, and that's what I was trying to, that's the message that I want to put out. It's that learning a new language is not that hard. You just have to put your heart on it. So that's like my main purpose, to be honest. And I'm not getting paid. I'm not some kind of big YouTuber. My viewers are very like a niche. My target's very niche, and I spend my own time, my own energy to film videos and inform people. So I thought my channel's going to be about how to study in Turkey, everything about Turkey, what you eat, how people are, what cell phone operator you should use and which ones exist, and giving students tips and tricks of how to survive in Turkey. Now, the video that I made was my most successful video. I mean, when I say most successful, like with the most views, it has like what, 7,200 or something views? I'm not really sure. So I thought that was maybe the first video that I bought a microphone and I used a professional camera to film, and the editing, it took ages because I was trying to be very specific, put all those animations inside of it to, be helpful. And then I always thought that if someone wants to find that video on YouTube, they can. You just have to type in studying in Turkey or something. And if a person really wants to study it, it will kind of eventually find my video. And then one day, before going to bed, I was like, well, there are some publics or pages on Facebook or Kontakti, the Russian Facebook, that people go to, and they do have lots of Turkey publics and how to study in Turkey. I thought, so why don't I just post my video there? So maybe it will be helpful to other people, because hearing people enrolled to university did make me really happy. I had 6 people who were like, wow, I enrolled to this program, it's kind of life-changing. And then I post that there. Mind you, it's in Russian, and my Russian isn't really that well. It's not that good. I'm grammatically incorrect. Some cases I don't use the correct endings, because Russian is kind of like French and German, where they have the feminine, the masculine, the middle one. And yeah, but the thing is, I always just talked. I was never afraid of talking. I was never afraid of saying something wrong. And that's, I believe, is one of the most important and key parts of learning a new language, is not to be shy and to try to speak out and, just generally trying. I had times when instead of water, I asked for vodka. Instead of intensive classes, I said intimate classes, and times where I just made a fool out of myself because I was trying to explain it in Russian. It didn't sound correct, but I still tried. And if a person wants to understand, at the end of the day, that person does understand what you're saying. And that's what I always thought. So obviously, me being such a small YouTuber, I do see most of the comments, and I see every one of comments, and I never had a comment like this. And this woman, I did look up her profile. It's a 36-year-old woman. While I was editing, I figured out that it would be better if I quoted. I did translate what she said, so it would be a bit more understandable. And disclaimer, I do not work for Türkiye Bursları. I do not get anything. I have nothing to do with them. I just know that this program is this, and I just want to share that information. I don't know what their end goal is. This program's been working for years and years. At the end of the day, I think it's just a program to aid people, to bring more students to the country, and generally just teach them the culture, and just to make people know what Turkey is, I guess. I really don't know what the end goal of this thing is, obviously. And so I wanted to put that out there so people don't, misinterpret my intentions or anything. So what she said was Aşırı kaşmar. That means nightmare mistakes. In English, I don't think so. I guess she's trying to say that the mistakes are horrible. You should have used a dictionary when you were writing. Just don't come at me. It's hurting my eyes. If you want to talk about your success, do it grammatically correct or in your native language. Okay, I have never spoken about my success, ever. I've never made a video about my success in Turkey. Which university have I enrolled in? What is the name? What program? I don't have a video like that. I don't share anything like that. And mind you, I do study in one of the elite schools in Turkey. I mean, when I say elite, like the good universities. And I've never done that. It's not about me. It's not about my success. It's about me trying to help students to enroll. And mind you that I did not use this program. So, and she says, do it grammatically correct in your native language. Well, my native language is Turkish. Türkiye Bursları is, if you're Turkish, you're not allowed to apply to this program because this program is only for foreigners. So what's the point of me doing a Turkish video in a program that Turkish people cannot understand? And by the way, my goal was to teach Russian people because that's what they speak in Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan they speak Kazakh and Russian, and I want to do it in Russian. And she says that it's the equal of if I were to tell Turkish people in my crooked Turkish on how to enroll to a university in Belarus. Well, that's what I'm trying to do actually. I'm trying to tell Russian people in my crooked Russian language on how to enroll to a university in Turkey. Duh. And she goes on saying a name, start charging for advertising of all these Instagrammers, sincerely. So back to my being in the garden with lots of noise. See you there. I don't know why it did not come across her mind that, okay, so why is this girl speaking like that? Why is she grammatically incorrect? Can she be maybe not a native speaker? I don't know. Like, how did this not come across her mind? And then she continues the comment with, so she's speaking to the admin right now. She told her name. She's like, admin, you should start charging like Instagrammers like this for, their posts and stuff. And I was like, really? Because I don't get anything out of this. I just help people, and what I try to help and try to inform them, and I use my own time and money to do these videos, and there she is telling the admin to charge me for reposting my video to a public about Turkish scholarships where people share their experience and share how to do it, which for me was like, well, that's mean. And then my subscriber who actually enrolled to a Turkish university, he said that I know this girl, I've seen her video, and that's how I enrolled to a Turkish university. And there's a girl who asked for my Instagram, so I saw these comments and I didn't really reply to any of them. So he replied to a girl who asking for my Instagram, and she replied to the old lady, and she goes, well, I'm happy for you, but that doesn't give her the right to be grammatically incorrect. And then there's obviously the comments continue like, yeah, like my ears hurt or my blood come out of my eyes because of how grammatically incorrect she is. And by the way, I would like to mention that knowing so many languages, I don't really speak well in any language, to be honest. That may sound kind of wacky and weird, but that is the truth for me. When I speak in Turkish, which I think it's my native language, I do stumble on words. I can't remember some words. I mispronounce words. And the same goes with English. I mean, obviously I'm not a native speaker, and the language that I study in, so I know more business words, I guess. So yeah, I mean, in general, I don't speak well in any language. That's my thing. And then this guy who also studies in Turkey, because I do look up their profiles, says how he saw one of my videos and the title was The Minuses of Turkish Girls. And by the way, I do not have a video like that. And she says how he doesn't like my attitude and, my videos, I guess. And that was funny because it's not my video. I mean, it's probably mixing me with someone, but thank you for your time and energy to write that comment, to be honest. And that kind of did put me down because I thought that I would, start doing 1 to 2 videos every day explaining them how to enroll to a Turkish university, because in 10 days, that scholarship program will start buying them tickets to fly to Turkey and start their studies and stuff. I was like, oh my god, I have 10 days. I have to inform them about everything in Turkey, how they can get their student cards and transport stuff, and what should they use as their phone operators, and they have to register their phones, so they have to their phones will get blocked. I had a lot of things on my mind, and after I saw that comment, I was like, oh wow, people really do not like me trying to help them because I'm grammatically incorrect. So I stopped doing videos, I guess, because I did have videos that I have to edit, but they're in Russian and I don't want to make blood come out of their eyes or something. So it put me back in a way, which I feel like at the end of the day, these kind of people, like mean people, are the people who prevent people from achieving their goals, I guess, because their shame, is it a thing, they language shame people, and if you can't speak correct grammatically, you shouldn't speak that language, which really I understand, because a lot of my friends don't speak with me in a language where they can practice. I'm like, well, you can speak with me, I mean, it's okay. And they're like, no, I'm shy, I say the words not like incorrectly and stuff. Well, for me, that's not a problem, because I understand that that's what you do. You don't go from A to Z in a second. You do make mistakes, and that's how you do it. So I felt very bad, and I understand that those kind of people actually do exist in the world, that put you down and prevent you from learning, I guess. So that was really my first hate comment, I guess, and that's how it really did affect me, because I don't know, I never thought that. I mean, I think you can tolerate people not speaking correctly. We live in such an international place. The thing is, because I've studied in England, I did have a British accent. But when at the age of 15, I moved to Kazakhstan. That's where I learned Russian, just from speaking with people. I didn't study Russian. I went to an English school again, but just from being in that environment, I learned that language. And also, my mom does speak language, but that was just like, hi mom, those bilingual kids who know how to speak their parents' language, like hi, eat, come, go, that kind of stuff. And when I spoke naturally with my posh Oxford accent, not many people understood me. So I did try to adapt different accents. So I would stop speaking in an English accent. I would start speaking, in more of a Russian accents, where they, for example, hello, how are you? Or maybe, I don't know, that's me being too dramatic, but like supply and demand, that kind of thing. So instead of saying supply and demand, I'll go supply and demand. And that's what I would do. I would just adapt. And right now, because of that adaptation, I lost my British accent, which is fine. I mean, I don't need to have it. People understand me. That's what I just need, nothing much. I'm not one of those people who tries to speak with a British accent, because some people like it, some people don't. But at the end of the day, having a British accent didn't make me any more better than other people. It just made me more ununderstandable. People didn't understand what I was saying. So yeah, I did adapt, and I do encourage people to speak, and I do not correct them unless they ask me to correct them. I mean, I wouldn't go and like, hey, that's not how you say that word, that's not how you do it, or that's not the correct way to say it. I don't really do that, and I feel like people should chill and just let people say what they want. So I guess that was like my 20-minute rant about languages and my first hate comment, how it affected me. And I really don't know if I want to continue to film in Russian. Maybe I will. Really depends, because I have so many people who write me beautiful messages. I don't want those beautiful messages to be ruined by just a couple of hate comments, I guess. But I don't know, I'm just amazed by how people can be mean, and they don't really, now what's the word in English? They don't do research, and they don't really think before they speak or write that comment. And it's probably very horrible for big celebrities and YouTubers or whatever. Like, some people get death comments and stuff, and I would think, this woman just wrote that I have bad, Russian, and I was grammatically incorrect, made me sad, whereas people get very bad comments from a lot of people. It must be saddening. Well, anyways, it didn't affect me in a way that I do know that my Russian isn't native. I do know that I'm not perfect, and it's just that I never thought that would be a problem, and now I just know that people don't like that, and there may be people who, be mean about that, but obviously I'm not going to let it put me down. I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing. She not knowing the fact that I am not actually a native speaker and I am actually a Turkish speaker who's trying to inform them of that scholarship. I guess just thought that I am, I don't know, a Russian speaker with just a very bad accent. But I'm like, well, how don't you ever, like, aren't you curious? Can it not come across your mind that I may not be a Russian speaker? I don't know. So yeah, that's my first hate comment. So I'm actually really curious to know what other people's first hate comments were like. I mean, I wonder how it would be in general. I wonder if like big YouTubers or celebrities remember their first hate comments and stuff, because I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so that was it. That was my rant, and I hope I was able to explain myself, and I hope that, I don't know what was I hoping from this video, but I just want to say that I just want to put that out there. And oh yeah, by the way, if you're interested in Turkey bursları and want to know more about it, and you want to know, I mean, the Russian video does have English subtitles for the most part, but if you want an English video on that topic, just write in the comments down below, I guess. Bye.